Welcome on in to the Utah Blockcast. I'm Steve Bartle, Utah insider for KSL Sports. And that guy across from me, Utah defensive tackle Keanu Tanuavasa.
Yes, sir.
Keanu, man, 4-0, baby.
4-0, baby.
How's that feel?
Feels good. But it's far from satisfied.
Obviously big test coming up this weekend. We'll talk about that, obviously, in the show with Arizona coming to town.
Yeah.
But we want to go back, man. Talk about the week that was. Talk about the game, all of that sort of stuff. But, dude, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
Doing great. I'm blessed to have every Wednesday with Steve Bartle, as the block kids know.
No, it's more of a nuisance, I feel like, sometimes.
No, I promise. I look forward to it every time. I'm like, yes, I get to see Steve today. Let's go.
Dude, it's a good time. And, like,
it is.
The feedback has been it's been awesome. I think people have really enjoyed hearing from you each and every week, getting to know you on a personal level, getting to just hear from you every week. It's been really, really good and really entertaining.
Well, I appreciate it. I hope that, at least, we do our little motivational messages at the end, but I hope just giving the fans, a deeper connection to not just me, but my team as a whole, is something that they can receive from this podcast. Because, I love my team and just as much I love my fan base. I love everyone who supports us and comes out. And so if this can be just a little bit of insight or, joy that they can have on a rainy day or a normal day or whatever, just entertainment, I love giving that to them.
Dude, it's been great. And again, the fans have really, really enjoyed hearing from you every week. Like it's been so cool to get that response from them. So, dude, so 4-0, like we said. You guys still do Victory Meal Monday? Is that still a thing?
We do every Monday after practice. We have our Victory Meal.
What's the meal these days?
The meal,
because they used to do clips of the Victory Meal.
Did they really?
They did. This was like
a while ago.
This was a while ago, but it was always something where fans would be like, "Oh, Victory Meal! They got crab legs this week." Like, yeah, bro.
Yes,
that's a good win. What was the Victory Meal this week?
So they had like massive platters of sushi that we could eat, and I'm a big seafood person. I love sushi.
Hell yeah.
Especially coming from California.
Yep.
We had crab legs. We had what is it called? I just told my teammate what it was last night, but now I can't think of what it is. It's one of those steaks, but it's in like that
Filet.
shape.
Mignon.
Something like that.
Ribeye.
I don't know. I can't. It's a ribeye.
Ribeye.
Yeah.
T-bone.
T-bone steak, ribeye, something like that. We had those. We had these massive shrimps, dude. They were like huge.
Oh, some jumbo prawns. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, some
like,
big boys.
Actually, gigantor. I was like, holy cow. I didn't know they came this big, dude. I thought shrimps were tiny animals. Those were huge. And then I walk up and I see like some of my teammates, like some of the linemen got like 3 of them. I'm like, dude.
How are you going to eat all that?
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like I eat a lot, but I don't know if I could eat 3 of those. Holy cow. And then we got, so it varies between those jumbo shrimp and then we have like king crab legs sometimes. And those are good. They'll make curly fries and corn dogs, and there's such a huge selection of food. But I love our staff over there.
Yeah,
that's just the best. There's so many people that go under the radar, but when we can say thank you to them for all they do, it's a blessing to have them there. The meals are great though. I love it. Especially
that,
Victory Meal.
Victory Meal especially.
Yes.
That's great, man. Well, that's good. I'm glad they still feed you on Mondays.
Yeah.
The Victory Meals. That's great.
Yeah.
That was just something like I said, we haven't seen the videos for like years.
Yeah.
I was just curious if they were still doing
I'll bring it up. Tell them we got to bring back Victory Meal video.
Back, dude.
I'll do some ASMR. I'll get the big old jumbo shrimp and
I need to see these jumbo shrimp.
Dude,
now.
they're huge. I swear. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm being so for real.
Oh man. So, let's go back to the weekend. Obviously, you guys traveled out to Stillwater, getting into Boone Pickens Stadium, and this was a top 15 matchup, right? Utah ranked number 12, Oklahoma State number 14. Big test. And when you're preparing for a game like that, obviously I know you guys prepare all the same, but do you feel when it's a top-ranked matchup, do you feel that sort of added energy, adrenaline? Do you feel anything different in that sort of matchup?
I think so. I think the difference with that is like we don't change our preparation because there's more pressure, but we definitely feel an added sense of attitude going into that game. An added sense of passion and just competitiveness.
Yeah.
Because that's a good team too. And so everything is elevated. Your emotions are higher. You recognize, man, this is someone who will put me to the test. And I'm excited about that. I'm ready to go to the test because I've worked hard for this. So definitely, I think we felt that all last week, but that doesn't, and then with those emotions, you eventually just go, well, I'm going to get back to my game. I'm going to play what I do.
Right. Because it's, again, 2 top 15 teams for a reason, right? Both teams are good.
Yeah.
And that, so you get to Boone Pickens Stadium. What was your first impressions of the stadium, getting into Stillwater, seeing the stadium and the atmosphere there?
I thought it was a cool looking stadium. They got that little horseshoe look.
Yeah.
It looked cool. Their freaking their jumbotron was huge.
Yeah, dude. It was.
Dude, that thing was massive.
Yeah,
I was like, holy cow. Their entrance was a little weird for us. I mean, we had to walk down this it was like a ramp.
Weird. We shared
ramp.
the entrance to the field with you guys, and that was so weird to me, I think, because it's like everybody's just coming down this entryway.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was extremely just different. I'm not gonna judge their stadium, but it was just different.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I mean, I enjoyed their stadium. Very pretty place. Never been to Oklahoma, so first time. It was nice. It was definitely warmer there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anytime you play in pads and it's hot outside, you're gonna feel the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed being in Boone Pickens Stadium and competing with those guys. It was nice.
It was definitely, so for me, getting to Stillwater, right? It was almost like, because it was a drive from Oklahoma City. You guys stayed a little bit closer. I think
did.
you guys were in Edmond, which I don't know exactly where that's at, but it's close, I assume.
Yeah.
The drive from Oklahoma City, it's about 45 minutes, and it's comparable to like a drive to like Logan. And that's what I compared Stillwater to. It's like Logan without the mountains, obviously.
I agree.
And then you get there, driving through the town, and then boom, just this massive stadium.
Yeah.
And it really stands out. It's an impressive structure, stadium. Getting in there, seeing the horseshoe, and then the fans start to fill in. I was interested to see just how loud it was going to get, and I have to be honest, it never really got loud.
No.
And I think a big part of that was the way that you guys came out and played.
For sure.
From the jump.
For sure.
When you get into a stadium that has that sort of reputation, right, of being a hostile place. And you guys have been in a lot of hostile environments before, right?
Yeah.
What's that sort of mindset like going into an atmosphere like that, and is that kind of a focus, is taking the crowd out of it as soon as you can?
I don't know. I mean, I think a little bit of it is, taking the crowd out of it attitude is. But I think just a big part is we just never engage with fans. We never engage with what things we can't control. We have to focus on only what we can control.
Yeah.
And so we practice in crowd noise every now and then. We'll go in the indoor facility. They'll play loud sounds, loud crowd on repeat. And we'll have to practice through that, getting our calls, communicating through what defense we're running.
Do you guys deal with that as a defense?
Yeah.
They have the stadium, the noise pumping in. You guys deal with that in practice?
I don't think we do as much. Okay. It's more so the offense. We do sometimes when we play in Rice Eccles.
Sure.
Which is what I was going to say is Rice Eccles to me was louder than Boone Pickens Stadium.
Yeah.
And nobody, even though Rice Eccles, I don't even know. I think it's a little bit smaller than Boone Pickens.
A couple thousand, 4, 5, 6,
maybe
8.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, I mean, and then we've played in bigger stadiums too, but our fans are loud, and energetic people, and they feed off of that. And then what you were saying is they didn't have that chance to build up momentum.
Right.
It was constantly cut off. That was such a great feeling to feel them, on that one of those drives, feel them get to the red zone, and then they have to kick a field goal because we stopped them there, And so cutting off huge momentum moments like that only sets you over the top in hostile environments. And it allows you to feel your momentum grow when those places are quiet.
From the jump, right? I think Oklahoma State started out 3 and out. And there's always that sort of feeling out process, right? You've never played Oklahoma State. You don't know what they're about. They've got the reigning Doak Walker Award winner in Ollie Gordon. And I'm curious to see how that matchup plays out. I'm curious. Obviously, you guys started out the game strong, getting that 3 and out, and that continued throughout the game. Was there a point in that game where you guys could sense blood in the water, where it's we're playing really well and we're controlling this thing? Could you sense that at all at any point in the game?
Yeah, definitely when we went in at halftime.
Feeling good?
Yeah, we were feeling good. And the vibes in the locker room were still focused. We got to finish, but it was, don't mess with the youths. We knew, the country was talking down on the youths. The country was talking down on the physicality being tested of the youths. And then we go in the locker room, and I think they were surprised to see where we were at in that game. Okay. And the blood was in the water spreading. And we were like, we weren't surprised by it at all. It was, welcome to playing the Utes. This is your, I don't know what the history of our record is playing Oklahoma State.
There was only one game all time.
Of all time.
One game, and it was played in 1945.
Forever ago, right?
Forever ago.
And so for us, it's, welcome to playing us. You've never played us really in recent years. And you've had this vision of what the media and what the world has been saying about, the physicality of the Big 12. And then you got, anyway, whatever. It's all just noise. And so we don't let the noise affect us. And I'm not sure if it affected them in their mindset, but they definitely realized we're in a battle.
This is different.
Yeah. This is not a team we can just walk over, regardless of having a good running back, a good O-line. This is someone who we have to battle. And then once we knew at halftime, we saw that within them, it was, okay, let's finish it. Let's go out there and just put them down.
To me, looking back on the game and some of the numbers, I think the most impressive thing you guys did, regardless, beyond holding them to 3 points over 55 minutes of action in that game, that's the most impressive thing about what you guys did as a defense. I think Ollie Gordon, holding him to 42 yards, but more than that, 40 of those yards came after contact. And that speaks to just how hard he had to work for all of his production. And how hard you guys made it on him. As you get into the post game and you're kind of looking at some numbers, and I don't know if you look at numbers at all, but coaches are going to talk about the game and all that stuff. How good did that feel? Especially with the backdrop of Utah State and allowing Rashul Faison to run for over 100 yards and all of the talk, and again, it's just noise that you guys don't listen to.
Right.
But a lot of the talk was like, oh, this Utah defense, it can't stop the run. To then go into Oklahoma State and to shut down the reigning Doak Walker Award winner, limit him to 42 yards, 40 of which came after contact. How good and what sort of confidence boost? I shouldn't even say confidence boost, but just kind of validating the belief that you guys have within yourself. Yeah,
it's definitely a testament of the work and the training that we do works. And so now it worked, we paid the price and then we got the results.
Yeah.
So then it's not, are we satisfied? Now it's, how much more can I do to then limit that even more?
Yeah.
How much more can I improve? That is a good running back. That's a good O-line. That's a good team, but can I continue to improve? And we're just scratching the surface of our ability to continue to climb that mountain. And so, yeah, I think it was a great confidence booster, but it was just, again, like I said, far from satisfied. We got so much more within us.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I'm curious, obviously the big headline going into that game, literally minutes before, was Cam Rising. He's not starting. Isaac Wilson is going to start.
Right.
And for you guys to get the win in the manner that you did, I thought was a testament to something that we've talked about before, right? That Cam Rising is a very important piece to this team. He's the leader of the leaders. He's just a really good quarterback.
For sure.
But I think what the statement that was made was, hey, there's a lot more on this team than Cam Rising.
For sure.
And for you guys, to accomplish that and to send that message to everybody watching, just to reinforce that, hey, this is a total team here.
Yeah.
We've got.
I think there's multiple points that I going to try and touch on really quick. And first is, saying that is no disrespect to who Cam is.
No.
It's no disrespect. Cam is definitely an amazing player, but we are a team without Cam Rising. We're a team without Karene. They're an amazing team without me, because those are athletes who pay the price day in and day out.
Right.
Regardless of who's at the front, who's at the helm, regardless of those things, those are amazing players that pay a great price. Second is going in there with Isaac Wilson. I think he's a great player, but I think the thing that people don't see is maybe it's because he doesn't have that experience. That's what a big difference is. And he's still got to get better with his technique. You know, I don't know completely what that looks like because I'm not a quarterback.
Sure.
But his technique will elevate to get better. And his experience level is obviously a big drop from Cam being 7 years.
Right.
And so the nice thing being a defense and being a team that has other players outside of Cam Rising is when he doesn't have the experience for himself to rely on, he looks to us and we can give him our confidence from our experience.
Yeah.
And that's where he gets his experience from is he hasn't actually played the 3 years that I've been in college, but if I can tell him that I believe in him from my 3 years, then he's like, wow, this guy who's a hardworking player actually believes in me. You know, so then he can gain confidence based off of my experience.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's incredible.
You know?
Yeah.
And
because you've competed against a lot of good quarterbacks.
But definitely.
You've seen a lot of good quarterback play.
For sure.
You know what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for him, not having that within himself,
Right.
but then getting that from Dorian Singer, who's a great player and believes in him, from Money Parks, who's played under Cam and his experiences, from the O-line who have their own Jaron and Moko and those guys. And then you have defensive players coming over and giving him their confidence. It only builds up the kid that he can then say, okay, my skills are there. I've paid the price to be good. I may not have the experience, but my team just gave me theirs. Now I have the confidence to go into this matchup and play.
That's incredible. To have that belief from others,
Yeah.
I think is huge. And I think with the way that Isaac has performed over the last couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
going on the road to Oklahoma State, going on the road to Utah State and performing in the way that he did, I think he's raised even the confidence level
For sure.
of others in him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible.
No, he's a great kid. And then I'd say lastly, going off of that is we rely on an individual, but we never depend on that individual with everything we got.
Yeah.
We rely on someone to fulfill a job, but when they're not there, that only means we're going to continue to play the way we know how to play. We're not going to depend and, Cam's not playing, our whole team can fold now. That's not the way we are,
Right.
The way we are is we rely on you to fulfill that job. If you're not going to do it because, and not because you can't or because you don't want to, but because of external reasons like he's injured, then it's, we also rely on ourselves. We rely on everything that we've paid the price to become. So I'm not going to go and fold. I'm not going to go think, this game is going to be over because we're missing someone who is valuable to our team.
Yeah. How much do you feel you guys gained that perspective from last season, right? Because last year was a difficult experience for you guys, but you guys still won 8 games. Like that's people forget. Like we talk so much about how difficult last year was. You guys still won 8 games, and that's remarkable.
Yeah.
How much do you feel like that's not necessarily carried over into this season? How did that help you moving into this season?
I think it definitely does carry over because we have a lot of seniors and players that are veteran that were through the team during that year.
Yeah.
That dark year we still won. And I say dark year because I think it was more difficult.
Yeah.
It was definitely a harder fight than my first year and then this year has been currently.
Yeah.
It was a grind. And so that's why I refer to it as that. But it definitely carries over a certain level of confidence and trust in our team's ability to fight through adversity, And so we're like, that's just what we do. That's just who we are.
Yeah.
And that's who we were then, and that's who we can be now. And I don't know if there's much to say on that other than the fact of it definitely is a confidence booster.
Yeah. The message, and I think it was more a message to the people that doubted Utah without Cam, right? Because we heard it all week that if Cam can't go, they're not winning
We're
this
not
game.
voting for Utah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that was a message sent that, hey, there's a lot more to this team with everything that we've been through.
Definitely.
This year, last year, we've been through a lot and we've won because that's just what you guys do.
Oh, yeah. I was telling someone the other day, I was like, it's interesting how the Utes are always very often written as the underdog.
Yeah.
And it's not that we want that underdog mentality, but it's fine, write us off. We've become, I think that's one thing that I can say that we've carried over is we've become such a very good team at not listening to the outside external forces.
Yeah.
It's what matters is who's in the facility every day, who's there at 6 a.m. because the media is not there. The fans aren't there. The people who are on other teams who are making these calls of Utah's not going to do this. Utah can't beat them if they don't have this. And we're like, it doesn't matter. I'm not listening to you because you're not there at 6 a.m. when I'm watching film with my team.
Yeah.
You're not there in the team meeting when we're battling through adversity and we hear, oh, someone else is down, darn it. But can we still practice at a high level and capacity with no lack of motivation?
Yeah.
And so that's something we've carried over, and I think we're doing very well at that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's clear. I think you guys are too. And so I'm curious, just a couple other questions from the game. How was that heat? Battling that heat? Because it was hot.
Yeah, it was hot. It was definitely hot. I was constantly spraying water down my face, down my back,
Yeah.
I don't like cold towels. I don't like that. I think, I'll get a cold towel at the end of the game, but job's not finished until then. Don't put no towel on me, man. I got to earn that, man.
Yeah, I got to earn it.
I'm in the fight. Don't, they ain't getting no cold towel to nobody on the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? So.
Was that harder or was Waco harder?
Waco way harder.
Way hotter.
No doubt.
That's
100%.
insane. That's crazy.
It
was hot.
I will play in Oklahoma State 10 times over before I go back to Waco, Texas. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a different player, and I've built more mental over the last 9 months to fight through heat.
Sure.
But no, I don't think that's it. I think it was just Waco was hot.
I do think there was like a 10 or 15 degree difference between Stillwater and Waco. I think Waco got up to like 160 on the field.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You guys
are dealing with that.
It was so bad.
Holy cow.
This week was bad, but no, nothing. That's why, and that was my thing, was nothing compares to Waco.
No shoes, no cleats were melting.
Not this week. Down in Waco for sure. My soul felt like it was melting in Waco, Texas. But no, yeah. Not in Oklahoma State, no.
And then the last one, we talk a lot about the fans, and to see them come to life at the end of that game. Not even at the end of that game, but they were throughout the game. You could hear them, but at the end, you could all just kind of see them rally together and come together, on that sideline, on your sideline.
Yep.
What does that mean to you to have fans that are willing to travel somewhere like Stillwater, which is not the easiest place to get to?
No.
You got to travel. You got to fly into Oklahoma City or Tulsa or one of those, and then travel another hour or so. Like it's a bit of a commitment.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you guys to have the fan base and that amount of support on the road like that?
I think to me and to the rest of my team, and that's one thing that I love, is our team loves to interact with the fans on the field.
Yeah.
We don't pay attention to the fans because we can't allow them to dictate how we feel. But when we are hyped and we can hear our people, we try to feed back that feeling that they're giving us. So they're not just screaming and getting no reciprocation of love. We want to turn around, and June does his little heart that he does to the crowd. I point to the crowd. I love pointing at people. I want to find the one person that's there for us. I love pointing and giving up the U, man. Throwing up the U, there's no feeling like it on the field. And then hearing people scream and give it back.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that feeling because you're representing a bigger community than yourself. But it means the world, man. I love seeing our fans travel everywhere.
Yeah.
So strong, sacrificing time. And obviously they get pleasure from it. They're not doing it just like if it was terrible, they're not doing it like it's like a chore.
Sure.
So they get pleasure, but it's still their time, their money, their sacrifice. And that means the world to us.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's so cool, dude. And obviously you guys put on a performance like that. It's going to keep them coming. It's going to keep them traveling.
Well, hopefully.
So that's great. And I was curious, you brought up June. What was with the little gun
like
draw
that?
celebration?
You
That was
like
great,
that?
dude. You guys were leaning into it.
And it was a Cowboys versus Indians fight.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
We loved, and so here's another insider for the fans. It was, well, we had talked in the hotel that night. We were like, I don't know who it was. I wish I could give him credit for the celebration. It might have been David Fotu. But they were like, here's the celebration tomorrow. We talked to the whole defense. We were like, put your hands in your holsters and then shoot after you make a play. So we were all looking at each other. We were like, draw. After we'd make those big plays. And there's pictures all over our media feed of those things. And me and Van loves Tombstone, the movie. I don't know if you've seen it. Of course,
yes,
Van.
Of course.
And so every time we made a play or he made a play, we came off to the sideline and said, I'll be a Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry. Yep.
And Van fits that perfect, dude. That's so Van Fillinger.
Dude, Van is the most interesting person.
Oh my goodness.
He is.
I love him.
He was last year. He was all into anime and stuff.
Yep.
And now Tombstone is.
Oh, he is one of a kind.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite. I mean, I love all of my teammates, but man, I love hanging out with Van. Such a good dude.
How cool is it to watch him? So since we're on Van, how cool is it to watch him? He's 5.5 sacks now.
Yep.
One of the top guys in the country, in the entire country. How cool is that to see that?
I love it. I couldn't be more. It's such a tender moment for me to see that for him.
That's cool.
It means the world because I know what it was like last year for him.
Yeah.
And not to go into depth, but it wasn't easy. And he played injured. He played and he battled through things.
Right.
And there's such a mental battle behind that. And to see him now smiling and seeing how good he looks, it changes. It makes my world happy. You know, it's a good thing to win. It's better to see my teammates succeed.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic, teammates, you got a teammate shout out this week?
I want to shout out, man. I told him today I would shout him out just like an hour ago. Alakai Gilman.
I knew it.
I got to, man.
This guy.
I was like, I wish I would have tipped that pass so you couldn't pick it off. I got to give him a hard time. And then this guy, dude, like, not to throw him under the bus, but like this week, you know, we have to like, you know, we have guys on scout that don't play and they don't use their tickets for the game because they get tickets. So I'm like scavenging to get these tickets for my family. And they're like, oh, I gave it to Alakai. I asked like 6 people. He's flying out the state of Hawaii, I swear. Everyone from Hawaii is coming to our game in Arizona. And this freaking guy is the one who's flying them all out, I swear. So shout out to Alakai for taking all of my tickets. And
this guy, man.
This freaking guy. No, but love for him, man. Number 8, he's ranked number 4 in the nation for Power 5 football safeties right now.
Yeah.
He's number 4. He's a hard worker, always in the film room. You know, we had our we'd go to church over the off season. We'd go to church, then after church we'd drive together to the facility and we'd watch film for about an hour on Sundays.
That's so cool.
It was our Sunday school.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. I love that kid. That's one of my brothers for life.
Dude, he's been one of the coolest dudes to like get to know over the last couple months, right?
Yeah.
And him coming from Stanford and him getting to, you know, experience, you know, we know why guys go to Stanford and all of that. You know,
right.
Super smart dudes.
Yeah.
But for him to have this opportunity to play for a football program like Utah with the fan base, with the support, it's something that he truly appreciates.
For sure.
That's so cool. All right, dude. That's great. Yeah, shout out to Alakai.
Shout out.
Especially that interception, dude. That was an impressive play.
That was nice.
That was an impressive play. Except if I remember, he was in coverage, dropping to his right. Bowman like sprints out to his right, and there was a crosser or something. And he had to pick up somebody else. He came off of the guy that he was on initially and made the play, jumped the pass, and hauled it in. That was an impressive play.
His nickname is Professor X. He not only knows the defense, but you want, when we're in a meeting, just an insider, that kid knows the defense like Morgan Scally. Scally's like, okay, against this formation, what do I like? And then you'll just hear Kai's voice in the back. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I have no idea what Scally likes. I just execute, you know? But this kid like is in Scally's brain, and I'm like, all right, dude. I'm glad
You're on a different level, man.
Yeah. I love it.
That's why he went to Stanford.
Mr. Professor X, man. Professor X.
Oh, that's great. Well, cool, dude. Got a couple questions for you.
Yep.
A little Q&A session.
Let's do it.
All right. So, first one. When you're watching film, you don't, whatever. But how do you approach your film study when you're getting ready for an opponent? Just what's your film study like? How much time are you putting in during a week? That sort of stuff.
So I think one thing that's key for me is you can't watch too much film. You start playing too mental. You start thinking too much on the field. Your reaction time is slower, and your technique goes out the window. Yeah. Especially for my position, I think it's different the farther back you go. You know, a quarterback's got to watch way more than I do.
Sure.
You know, a linebacker, a safety, they got to see more than I do. But I can't see the receiver. I can't see what stance he's in. I can't see where he's at on the hash, if he's close, if he's on the ball off. I see who's in front. Yeah. So for a defensive tackle, it's so critical to have definitive technique that hits 90% of the time. That's what's critical for me. So I'd say I pay more attention throughout the week to my technique as opposed to film study. But I love studying film because I do think that does separate part of my game, is because then I can study what formation do they like to run this. I'm more of a box formation guy, because I don't need to worry about the receivers.
Yeah.
But it's, and then when they run this inside zone or this outside zone, what type of step does this offensive guard like to take? When does the tackle like to chip down? Because I'm still going to get off the ball with the best technique I can. But if I can catch one or two plays and recognize when he's pulling and I can shoot that backfield, those little details are things that you catch from film study. So I probably spend an hour a day on film study.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more.
That makes a lot of sense too, right? Because, your role and what makes a good defensive tackle is so much different than
for sure
what makes a good quarterback a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think you hit on that perfectly.
Yeah.
I think that's great. That's super cool. All right. Next question. Big guy, like to eat.
Love to.
We talked about the Victory Mill, jumbo prawns and stuff. But you also get out into Salt Lake.
I do a little bit.
I assume you have a favorite spot. What's your favorite spot?
Man, I told you I like sushi.
Yeah.
You know what's really good is Tokyo Tower.
Tokyo Tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice little place too. It didn't open up. I think it opened up this year.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
No, I don't know.
But it hasn't been out that long. I don't know, but I love the interior design. I love the food. You want to
That's
take
what matters most. Is
right. It's not the food. It's actually just.
It's got to be a please.
Well, man, if I'm gonna eat good food, it gotta look good too. You know what I'm saying? No, it's Tokyo Tower. Like I love that place, man. I order from there, maybe a little too much, but it's a good time.
Okay, all right, Tokyo Tower. I'm gonna have to hit that up.
Oh yeah, let them know if they want an NIL deal. You
need lunch.
That's what I'm saying, right? Right before. I don't know about before practice. Maybe not.
That would be tough. All right, a couple more here. For you, Keanu, you've taken a big step forward this year, right? I think everybody can see that from where you were last year to this year. You've taken a huge step forward. But for you, going from good to great is one thing, but to take that next step, what's going to be the big key for you to get you to that next level of your game? Not NFL.
Sure.
We're not talking NFL just yet. Just of your game.
My game.
What's going to help you get to that next level?
I think to be great, you have to be consistently good. And so I think I'm on that track to taking my game to the next level. And what that is putting in the extra hours.
Yeah.
I try to do extra cardio, try to do extra lifting.
Man, I need to do that too.
But you can't be doing what everybody else is doing. You gotta find moments to improve and to surpass other people.
Yeah.
And so I think I've always strived to do that, and that's what I'm currently doing. What more can I be doing? I don't know. I gotta keep looking because there's definitely more out there. But sometimes I think it's less about what more can you be doing and how much more deliberate can I be in the things that I am doing.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
I think sometimes we get too focused on I need to add something new.
Wow.
I gotta find the next big thing, something else to add to my training cycle, some new stretch, some new format of lifting. Then that's gonna set me over the top. And the basics is what made Kobe Bryant who Kobe Bryant is. He perfected one thing and he was deliberate at it consistently. He didn't change what he did. And I think that's what I need to do. I think I just have to have a little bit more focus to the things I am doing.
Yeah. Man, holy cow. Dude, mind blown. That was holy cow. All right. Last one, and then we'll get into a couple keys to the game with Arizona.
Okay.
And then we'll finish with the motivational message. Besides yourself, who's the funniest guy on the team?
Besides myself is a good point. Man, we have a team of clowns, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, there's options here.
There is so many options. Let's see. I shouted out Peppa last week. Peppa was hilarious. June, everybody knows June's hilarious as well. Funny. He's got that attitude. We bounce off of each other. Yeah. Yeehaw, buddy. I think Alakai's hilarious. Sione Fotu's hilarious. Lander's hilarious. Dude, I don't know. Let's see.
But this is good, though. Like, I talked a lot about this season, right? The expectations being high for this team, and that can weigh you down
For sure.
But I think for you guys, for this group, to have this many guys that are funny,
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing in this type of season.
definitely.
To kind of not necessarily, you don't want to have a light mood all the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes it gets a little heavy. It gets
No,
a little
for sure.
too serious, like you're saying.
Yep.
Sometimes you can watch too much film,
Yeah.
and that can weigh you down.
Yeah. You can
Sometimes you
practice
need to
too
laugh, man.
intense sometimes.
Yeah, you need to laugh.
Yeah. No, good humor leads to good play, in my opinion.
Yes, dude. Yes, there are so many keys here that I'm loving. You need good aesthetics in a sushi spot.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm standing on that one.
Need a laugh to
You gotta
play
laugh.
good.
Yep.
Gotta laugh.
Got to.
Laugh hard, play hard.
Don't do too much, Be deliberate with what you're doing.
Be deliberate.
Yeah.
That's great, dude.
Yeah.
Well, man, I love hearing that. All right, so now looking ahead, Arizona this weekend.
Yep.
Big change. Going from a team with a guy like Ollie Gordon, where it's very running backs focused, to now Arizona, star receiver,
Yep.
Teteroa McMillan. You guys hail Noah Fafita, all of you guys from that Southern SoCal area. First, how cool is it to come up with guys like that? And you're all just, you come up, you were at Mission Viejo, these guys were at Servite.
Yep.
How cool is it to play in an area like that? And now you're on a bigger stage in college football.
It feels cool. I mean, it's definitely cool to see them succeed. It's definitely awesome to see that we've risen together.
Yeah.
We all were playing Little League. We competed. Now we went to, high school. We competed and we beat Servite, Mission Viejo. Shout out to Mission Viejo. And then, and now we're on the next level and we're here still.
Yep.
That's such a cool connection and battle mentality of, I've played you before. I played you since I was young. Now I get to play you again.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So what are a couple keys to the game for you?
Couple keys to the game for me is Noah's a great player. He's a very mentally tough player.
Yes.
I've always known him. He's a warrior. He plays hard. He works hard, trains hard. Part of that, and not saying that his hard work doesn't stem from this, because he just naturally is that. But he's not physically as gifted as other people,
right?
Which is something we can use against him.
Interesting.
Given that he's only 5'10", and we're averaging about 6'4" on the D line. If I'm picked up, a key to the game is how many passes can I block because of his height.
That was something you guys were so good at this past week.
Yep.
Because Oklahoma State was just they get the ball
quick,
dude.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
super quick.
That was annoying.
Was it annoying?
Yes. I'm working my butt off to go get a sack, and then the ball's flying out.
The ball was out in 2 seconds.
Yes.
You can't do anything. But you guys were really good at getting your hands up.
Yeah.
And getting your mitts on passes. Like it was, I think you ended up with 4 or 5.
4 or 5 PBUs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Same thing this week. I think that's a key to the game. Another key to the game is playing great man coverage. Being able to lock up, their receivers who are hard workers as well, good talent. And then just getting pressure on that quarterback.
Yeah.
Same as always. If we get pressure on quarterback, then you can throw the game.
Yeah. Love that. All right, dude. Let's wrap this one up. What's the motivational message for the week?
The motivational message of the week. Man, so I'm driving my car around right now. On the back it says New Mind. Because that's my brand that I'm trying to building a new mind.
Okay, all right.
And so with that, I was like, for these motivational things, it's new, right? I'm Keanu.
It's a sales pitch.
Yeah, it's new mind, but at the same time, it's what can you implement that's new to your own mind? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It goes both ways. And so I think I was going to share this. So one of my favorite TV shows, the main character says this line, and I had to share it. And what he says is, your boos mean nothing because I've seen what makes you cheer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That to me, when I saw that last year in the show, was huge, because it was, to me, the message today is you have to stop caring about what other external forces and people are saying.
Yeah.
What matters is who's within your mind.
Yeah.
Who am I listening to daily? The two most important people I talk to every day is God and myself. And so if I'm not being positive in those interactions, I can't expect to live a positive lifestyle, because I'm living according to what someone else exterior who's not going through my day-to-day basis is saying. And that just allows someone else to dictate my happiness, my emotions, my success level. And so for all the blockheads and everyone out there, dictate your own future, man. Don't listen to the opinions of others. Remember, their boos mean nothing, because what makes them cheer was not what will make you cheer.
Oh, man, dude. Good grief, man.
Let's go fight in the treadmill, man.
Oh, let's go, dude. Let's go. Oh, man, that's incredible. Dude, you're playing great this season. You've been impressive each and every week. It's been awesome to have you on the show so far. The blockheads love you. It's been great. So, dude, good luck this weekend against Arizona. It'll be a tough test. Appreciate you, dude. And for myself, Steve Bartle, for Keanu Tanuavasa, this is the Utah Blockcast, signing off.